What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mana Rant, the Dorks Podcast. This is episode 13. I'm your host, Hoshi, and I'm joined here today by my good friend, Drunken Dork.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And so if you've been watching the podcast, you should know Apollo is our other host that we have here, and he is missing this week. Unfortunately, he is in the hospital. He suffered a massive fart that triggered a minor heart attack, so he's I mean, he might have. I don't know. We don't know where he is. He's probably
that probably didn't happen, but it would be kind of funny.
He's probably drunk in an alley somewhere.
Yeah.
That's more likely. But anyways, so this week it's just us two. So it'll be a shorter episode this time. So if you're new to the podcast, this podcast follows the phases of Magic. So we have an untap, an upkeep, a draw phase, a main phase, a combat, second main, an end step, cleanup, and discard. And so we do a different thing for each of those. But first, let's start off real quick with our untap. And with our untap, we open a drink and we talk about what we're drinking real quick because we're a couple drunks. So, all right.
Sweet.
All right, Drunken, what are you drinking tonight?
I got North Coast Brewing. It's called Brother Thelonious. It is a Belgian beer, and I'm excited. I never drink Belgian beers, but for some reason I was just having a hankering for one. But it's like 10%, so this is gonna really fuck me up.
Oh man, that's like gasoline.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. It was just Oktoberfest, so that was the last time I've had a Belgian. Well, that sounds good. You're going to be hammered. So tonight for me, I am trying to finish this off. I opened this a while ago and I just left it open. So this is Johnny Walker's Song of Ice. It's a blended Scotch whiskey. And it's like a themed one from Game of Thrones. So it shows you this little old. I need to finish this off. So so that's what I'm drinking tonight. So we do this every week because we drink every week, and sometimes we get a little more hammered than others during this podcast. All right, so moving on. So now after untap, we have upkeep, and so upkeeps real quick. We just talk about what we're talking about tonight. So we're going over the historic metagame. We're kind of focused on historic on this podcast. We'll touch real briefly, I think, on the other formats that is in Magic Arena right now. And then we are going to go into our combat, which is going to be a less traditional combat this time because it's just between... it's normally between me and Drunken Dork where we battle it out over some topic. But there's no one to moderate it tonight, so it'll be kind of more freeform. But we're going to be talking about the new secret layer, the Extra Life, and we'll be arguing over that a little bit. And then after that, we're going to go into our second main phase, which is a horseshit card game where Drunken Dork comes up with a bunch of random cards that he made up, and one most of them are real, and then one he made up. So it's a fun game. And then after that, we pound our drinks, basically, for our discards.
Sweet.
So, all right. Well, now that we've got that out of the way, let's go to our draw phase. So in draw phase, we talk about what we've been playing this week. We'll start off with you, Drunken. What have you been playing?
So I haven't had a chance to play any Actually, that's a lie. So I haven't played any arena in 2 weeks. Today was the first day I got on, and I played my janky Rogues deck that I have on Historic, which is Grixis Rogues, and I love it. I love that deck. I made a video of it. I think it's so much fun to play. But since I haven't had my computer hooked up until today, my wife and I have been playing drunk Magic at night. So I have I have this game. I wish I knew who created it. Someone created a bunch of Magic cards with like memes of the time. So I think it was made like back in 2010 or something like that. And it's like got a bunch of South Park cards and and
Yeah.
and Family Guy and stuff, and like they all have like these drinking rules on them. So there's like a demonic tutor, but instead you have to like pound an entire beer if you want to go search for a card. It's like ridiculous. I mean, we don't follow it exactly, but it is fun.
Yeah.
And we've been playing that. Like that's the only bit of Magic I've been playing recently.
I remember we played that a long time ago, back when Apollo was in Gardena. And that's one of the drunkest times I feel like I've ever been in my life. That game gets you hammered.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like the person who made it, he like had never had alcohol in his life, or he was just a raging alcoholic. Because like it is literally like drink 3 drinks and then you can add 1 mana to your mana pool, or like pound, like kill a creature and then pound a beer. I'm like, what? How many? Like this is only like this is turn 2 and I'm pounding a beer already. What the heck?
Yeah, I like that game. Yeah, I feel like it needs to be retooled a little bit on how much you're actually drinking during those phases, and that's coming from us.
Yeah.
Who so actual alcoholics. All right, awesome, dude. Well, I'm glad you're done with all that, and you can get back into some games with us. So we'll have some good stuff to talk about next week. So for me, I have been same thing. I've just been getting back into stuff. I've been busy too, but I've been playing some historic. And I have been loving the historic meta right now. It's been shifting. I've been playing my the Gruul deck a little bit, but I've been working on my like mid-range killer deck. Basically, it's targeted at Planeswalker decks, which are I've seen a large uptake in Planeswalkers decks. So it's like, you know, using Ulamog and the Immortal Sun and that kind of stuff to shut down a lot of these strategies, and it's a lot of fun when you blow people out with it. But yeah, so that's all I've been playing this week.
Cool.
All right, that was draw phase. So now after draw, we go into our main phase. All right, and so our main phase our main phase topic tonight is going to be the historic meta mainly, right? So just the meta in general on Arena is looking a little different now. So I'm looking at MTG Assistant, okay? And so that's where if you don't use MTG Assistant, it tracks your deck. It keeps track of all your cards. It shows you like what your chances of drawing your next card. It also tracks the meta game that's going on, like who's playing what and like who they're actually playing at that time. So it gives a pretty up-to-date, accurate assessment of what the meta is, because a lot of people use this. And if you don't use it, you should. It's a pretty cool little program that runs along with Arena. But looking at the historic meta right now, it's tracking over the past 30 days, and it's tracking on ranked. Okay, so looks like mono red goblins is still the top, according to this. Then blue white enchantments is after that. Mono red aggro in third. Mono white life gain in fourth. Elves in fifth. Colorless ramp in sixth. Mono red burn again, and then some tempo rogues. Gruul way down there. The Temur spells. Some ramp, and then some more stuff below that. So looking at this, I feel like this isn't an accurate representation of what the meta is like right now from what I've been experiencing. What do you think? Like I said, I haven't played for 2 weeks really, but I feel like it probably is. Do you play a lot of ranked? Because I think this is mostly in ranked, right? Is what it shows. It is, and so this is tracking ranked, and it's tracking the Platinum Plus ladder. So this is the upper ranked, as well. So
yeah, I think. Yeah, I am in platinum right now. And I do see a lot of these decks, especially mono red aggro. I see pretty consistently. And actually, I want to take a step back. This MTG Assistant, if you're not using this, you're doing something fucking wrong, because like this thing is awesome. It really is. Like it helps you with drafting. It like, and not only does it help like show the meta, but it helps show how much, like, if the more people that use it, the better its numbers are going to be, right? The statistics will have more games to like show. So I think if you don't have this, you should definitely be using it. But yeah, going back to this meta, yeah, mono red goblins, blue white enchantments. I don't see blue white enchantments nearly as much as I used to, but hey, apparently it's still playing a lot of games.
Yeah.
But I do see mono red goblins. I do see mono red aggro. I still see white life gain. I don't ever think I've seen a colorless ramp deck. If I have, I just destroy it, so I don't see what the fuck it's trying to do.
I run into them. Yeah, they're getting big.
Yeah, you know, the one thing I don't see is my Grixis Rogues, man. Why the fuck isn't it up here?
You're literally the only person playing that. Seems like a cool deck, though. So what I'm looking at here is they have a historic events tab under there, too, which is tracking like recent tournaments that go on. And from what I've realized just over my years of watching this stuff, people pay attention to those events, right? And what wins those events. And people start playing those decks almost immediately. Generally, the top 2 slots, I feel like people really start, net decking those decks and seeing like, hey, maybe this might be a new thing that's taking off. And so 2 of the ones that I'm seeing on this that are way up there, and which I have been running into on Arena, are Jund Sacrifice and Sultai Control. I'm seeing a lot of Sultai Control on there, actually. And then Red Burn has definitely taken a massive uptick. Yeah. Okay. Also, Azorius Control is coming back in a big way. Yes. I feel like it's good. I mean, even without Teferi Time Raveler, I think it's still very good. It's a hard strategy to beat once they take over control, obviously. Bant Control, another big one that I'm seeing coming up. And that colorless ramp deck is pretty huge, and it's difficult to deal with once it gets going, because they're running Ulamog, they're running Ugin, so I feel like it's been a big shift, at least I'm playing the unranked queue, so I think kind of that's where the beginning of at least the meta shift begins, right? Is people are testing out things in the unranked queue, and then they bring it to ranked once they feel like it's powerful enough. So I think the meta is going to shift that way. I think we're going to see a lot more Sultai Control and those things coming into it. What do you think?
So yeah, actually today, like when I was playing, I did play against like a Jund Sacrifice deck, and then I played against multiple Sultai Control decks, like multiple of them. And so, I think what happens is people don't use this as assistant to to see what the meta is, and a lot of people, they use things like MTG Goldfish, which there's nothing wrong with that. MTG Goldfish is a great site, but the thing is, it doesn't show you best of 1. It only shows you best of 3, and that's what this historic event thing is showing you. It's showing you the events, and those events are generally best of 3. So like these are all best of 3 decks. That's why it looks so drastically. Like if you look at traditional historic, I mean, you still see goblins at the top, but like right below that is Sultai mid-range, followed by Gruul aggro, followed by Gigantha Sacrifice, which is completely different than the historic one. So like it really shows you how different it is having a sideboard opposed to not having a sideboard is, right?
Oh, huge. Completely different. Yeah.
Like the consistency is a lot higher with mono red goblins and blue white enchantments, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And just aggro in general, I think, is harder to deal with in the best of 1, because mid range and all those things are focused on like specific strategies, where aggro doesn't really have to do that. They just right, meet punch face. That's it. That's pretty interesting and a good point. So I like the way that the meta is shifting. I think it's looking at these numbers too, especially in the traditional one, like goblins is barely above Sultai Control, and then Gruul aggro. There's no like clear winner in the meta game right now, right? So I think that's
goblins in best of 1 by far, goblins like by a landslide.
And goblins in traditional, right? I mean, it's a super good deck. But there are strategies to beat it, but I mean, even then, I think the real power of that deck is that it's just pure creatures, right? It's pure creatures, and it's fine with that. It doesn't suffer from being pure creatures in any way. It comes back very quickly. There's so much good stuff in that deck.
Yeah, there's a lot of aggression in there. Like I think there's at least two different cards, and you run 4 of both that give all your creatures aggro, and then Skirk Prospector. So like as long as you have a Muxus, a Skirk Prospector, like 2 lands in your hand, I think you have the gas to get Muxus out on turn 3. Like it is like very likely with a hand like that. And those come around often enough. I have mono red goblins. I play it every once in a while. I am like one of those pieces of shit for sure. And it does happen.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's been many times where I'm like, oh yeah, sweet, I'll keep this, and then like fucking turn 3, yep, out comes Muxus, and here comes like 60 damage on turn 3. It's insane.
Yeah, it really busted, and I don't know if it actually like demands a ban. I haven't heard people up in arms about it really, which is surprising considering how powerful that deck is and how like kind of broken it is. That with all the screams for banning of stuff, I really haven't heard anything about goblins. I mean, maybe my ear's not to the ground as much as it should be, but
well, like playing blue-white enchantments a lot. Like I played that a lot more than goblins. It's actually it's like the yin to the yang to that deck, because there's a lot of life gain, and your creatures get so big. It doesn't matter if Muxus swings in at 13 damage. If you have a 15/15 with lifelink and vigilance, yeah, they have no way. Like there's no removal in that deck in mono red goblins, so it's like they have no way to deal with it. So you can win pretty consistently with white enchantments against goblins, or at least I've found that to be true.
I think burn is also very good against goblins.
Probably,
as well.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's good checks to that deck, even though it's still like very insane to play against. And now we got Gruul aggro coming into, which I don't think is possible of doing a turn 3 kill like goblins is, but it is it can come down on turn 2 and then have an insane board presence, which is almost impossible to come back from, even for goblins maybe. So I think there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in Historic right now, and I don't really think I see anything that's ban worthy besides maybe taking one thing out of goblins. Goblins I feel like has a lot of stuff going on for it.
Yeah,
maybe Skirk, maybe Muxus. I don't think taking out any one thing out of that deck is going to completely destroy it either. It might like curb it a little bit, but I mean, yeah, it's not pushing up the huge meta numbers like I thought it would be. So maybe no bans.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I personally like mono red goblins. I think it's fun.
Yeah, I hate it, but that's because I don't play it, right? I don't play it, so playing against it is rough. It is always satisfying to beat it though, because it's a pretty insane deck. All right, so I think Historic's looking pretty good right now. It does feel like there's some shifts going on in the meta, which we will keep an eye on. I feel like my Ulamog deck, my ramp deck is becoming more powerful. It's gotten a lot better recently, where I feel like it was getting just handed to it for a while, and so I might do a deck tech on that this week actually.
Cool.
All right, so let's
real quick though, what is your favorite deck from the meta right now?
Man, from looking at just the top meta decks, I'm gonna have to say my favorite's the Gruul aggro. Definitely.
Okay. Sweet, man.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. It's one of those decks where it feels gross when you drop like 2 Burning Tree Emissaries into like you turn
feels
one.
So good though.
Yeah, it feels good but gross at the same time. Like you need a shower. You just have like such a crazy board presence out of nowhere. And that part of it is fun, a little bit. It's kind of gross, like I said, just because I don't like that part of Magic where you're like, I have a good hand, I win, right? That I don't think that's really what Magic should be about. Magic is about like, interacting with your opponent and doing cool things like that, right?
Yeah.
And then like thinking your way out of a situation. And I think Rules Higher End actually has that in a fun way where you get Ember Cleave and the Hanj and all these things where you're trying to like get around control and all that stuff. So I think Rules a really fun deck to play, even when it's not in its like busted form of getting like 3 Burning Tree Emissaries down. What about you? What's your favorite right now?
Definitely, I think it's gonna have to be out of the meta right now. I'm gonna have to say Mono Red Burn because I really like the tempo style of play that deck offers. It's not really like, it is a burn deck, sure, but it's also a tempo deck. I feel like when you're playing it, that's what it feels like. So I think that one. Although I do wish Mono Green Elves was more powerful. I really really want Elves to be a thing. Really bad.
Me too. Yeah, me too. I feel like it's just missing something. I don't know what it is that it's missing. I mean, I thought that Collected Company would really push it over the edge, but it's not. It's still not quite there.
Yeah, Heritage Druid. That's what it needs.
Yeah. By the way, I do love playing Mono Red when with my Ulamog deck because I run Leyline of Sanctity in there. They look at it when it comes down and they concede immediately.
Yeah.
They're just like, nope.
Absolutely. That's awful. Yeah.
Oh, it's so fun to do. So, I mean, Leyline of Sanctity, by the way, in Historic right now, great card. Because guess what else you're getting hit with constantly? Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize, Thought Erasure, all that stuff does not work on you. Also, the sacrifice decks, like the Priest, right? Priest of Forgotten Gods. She has to target an opponent to be able to trigger her sacrifice thing. So it doesn't work if you have Leyline of Sanctity. So that shuts down that deck pretty well, too.
Nice.
So
I like that. Spicy, dude.
Leyline of Sanctity is a very good card in Historic right now. There's a lot of things that actually target the opponent. So, yeah. Just throwing that out there.
Cool.
All right, so let's check in real quick on some of the other metas right now. So we don't really play standard, but a lot of people do. Let's look at the standard meta real quick. Okay, after Omnath is gone, Omnath's been gone for about a week now, right? It looks like Dimir Flash took over. I think everyone saw that coming. And then I talked about how Mono Red was going to come back up because of Omnath going away. His life gain really took Mono Red into, like, pretty much got rid of it, right? And now Mono Red it looks like it's the second, followed by Mono Green, and then Mono White. A lot of monos. Dimir is one of the only ones, yeah. And then some Rakdos mid-range, and then it looks like we got some spicy stuff coming under like that, like Esper Control. The real thing that I'm noticing here is Dimir Flash is a massive percentage of the metagame right now, with 25% of the metagame in Dimir Rogues. Yikes.
So, keep going, sorry.
No, go ahead.
So I think what this has to say, actually, more than anything, is just that probably before bannings, a lot of people already had these cards, like Dimir Flash cards, because it was a viable deck, even pre-Omnath. So coming out of Omnath, like, it just, people still had those cards. I don't think this is the most powerful deck in Standard right now.
No?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I think it's probably just as good as Mono Red aggro or even Mono Green aggro.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of people like having the deck and being able to use it at the time. That's why I think it has higher numbers than these other two.
Okay. Also, this is tracking over the last 30 days, so they were still in the metagame at that time, where the Omnath deck is just completely gone, so this one automatically took that spot, right? So that might not be an accurate representation. I'm sure there still are a lot of rogues going around there. It's a good deck. I know. I watch videos of other streamers playing. I've been seeing a lot of people are playing the Midnight Clock to counter the mill from it because it shuffles all your cards back into your library. So that seems like it's become a very popular card.
That's cool.
Amongst all these. So it looks like the standard meta game has gotten a lot better. Looks like it's getting healthier, which is great. So that's good to hear. And then let's check in on Brawl real quick. Brawl is something I feel like me and you and Apollo were like super hyped on when they first came out with it, and then it quickly the meta just came super stale. I feel like really quickly with it, which sucks because it's a commander, like it's a mini commander format, right? So the commander's like our favorite overall, you know, form of Magic. So this seemed like it was a surefire win for us, but it seems like there was like 2 or 3 decks that basically were 100% of the meta. So the last time I played, I know Kinnan was top of the meta, and he was one of the reasons I stopped playing because I was just sick of playing him over and over and over again, and it was like nearly impossible to beat him. And now it looks like Garruk, Cursed Huntsman, has taken over the top spot, which is crazy. That is a 6-drop Planeswalker that is taking over the top, which is, I mean, way different than Kinnan, right? He's a 2-drop that came down. And then Heliod being in second now, so he took over Kinnan. Heliod is busted in that, I mean, just, you know, the life gain is pretty cool. But then underneath those 3, the new Nissa, the shadowed bots or whatever, which I have seen 0 people play so far in historic or standard or anything. Have you run into the new Nissa at all?
In standard or historic?
Anything. Anything.
Yeah, I have. A couple times in historic, I think. People really want graveyard to be a thing. Like this guy right here, like me, I'm talking about if you're listening. Yeah. And so I think people are trying real hard. But yeah, it's just not a good card it's too much mana. Okay.
Well, it's 4% of the Brawl meta, so
yeah, it is. I mean, this meta actually looks pretty solid. Like Garruk is 10.5%, and then Heliod's 9.5%, and then Kinnan is 6 or almost 7. So like this is pretty good. Like this meta looks healthy as hell. I fucking hate standard Brawl. I think it's boring.
I do. Yep.
I don't know why the fuck they don't have historic Brawl. Why, like,
what
reason do they have to just not put it in? You know, the more formats to have in there, the better. Like, the more lucrative it is for them too. Like, people are more willing to probably buy packs. So
exactly, because you want to, get your deck better.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a great question. Do any of you guys know why they are pushing Brawl over Historic Brawl? Historic Brawl is not even a queue option, right? Like,
no.
You can play each other if you challenge each other, and they call it friendly Brawl instead of Historic Brawl, which I don't know why Historic Brawl sounds better than friendly Brawl, I think, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, Historic Brawl, so much better. I just saw a meme about it this week, and God, I can't remember it right now. But anyways, it was about, just like obviously Historic Brawl like would be the best thing to play.
Yes.
And Wizards just does, I don't know, maybe one day they will,
get their shit together. Wizards, get your shit together, put it in a box, take it to the shit store. Fucking get your shit together.
That is a great segue. So let's move on to our next phase. So that was our main phase. After main phase, we move into combat. In combat today, we are going to talk about the new secret lair drop. Yeah, there's another secret lair. That's right. If you haven't heard already, the next secret lair has already been announced after the shitstorm dumpster fire of the last secret lair, the Walking Dead one, came out. It looks like Wizards of the Coast is trying to somewhat put out a little bit of that dumpster fire that they were doing with the secret lair Extra Life 2020 drop that they're doing right now. So what this is Extra Life is a charity event And I'm not exactly sure what the charity event is for. I know it's for kids.
Extra Life is just like it's like a gaming thing where it goes to children. It's actually a really good cause. Like it's a lot of like IGN does it for video games, and like a lot of streamers use it.
That's cool. It sounds awesome. Charity is a great thing. Yeah, and then giving to children's hospitals, great cause, right? Okay. So let's see. What are you getting with this Secret Lair 2020? So 4 cards are coming out. Teferi's Protection, amazing card. Has been printed one time in the Commander format. There was a Judge promo of Teferi's Protection, and that's been it so far. So the price tag for Teferi's Protection has been steep. Has there? There was another one?
It was in Mystery Booster. So like the odds are like 1 in a fucking billion. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's ridiculous. Teferi's Protection, if you are not aware, is until your next turn. It's an instant for 3 mana, 2 colorless, and a white. Until your next turn, your life total cannot change, and you gain protection from everything. All permanents you control phase out. Exile Teferi's Protection. Amazing card. I love this card in so many ways. It's great because the mana cost seems right for what it does. It's an instant. It allows you to protect yourself kind of like in a one shebang type thing, right? Mm-hmm. Where you just completely phase out of the game. And then this is the key part of this card is it exiles it, right? It's gone after that, which it stops you from abusing this effect, which would be ridiculous. If you could bring this back from the graveyard, it would be one of the most hated cards ever, right? Mm-hmm. But since it goes away, great card. Commander's staple, I feel like. If you're playing white and Commander, you need this card, which is why it's commanding a consistent $30 price, I feel like. Mm-hmm. Ample of Vigor. Whenever a permanent enters the battlefield tapped under your control, untap it. And it is a 1-drop artifact.
Sweet card.
Pretty strong. Yeah. A lot of really crazy things come in tapped, right? So Ample of Vigor, I feel like, is a very good card if you're running a lot of
Amulet, right? Amulet of Vigor?
Yeah. Amulet. Yes. Sorry. Amulet of Vigor. And also, what did I say? Ampule?
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah. It's that it counters stuff that that makes all your, permanents come in tap, like Thalia and stuff like that. So really cool.
It's
card.
A sweet card. Yeah.
I mean, 1-drop artifact, always nice. Next we have Collected Company, which is a instant. It is 4 mana, 3 colorless, and a green. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. Put 2 creature cards with converted mana cost 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Awesome card. Gets around board wipes. All these kinds of things. So that's a staple card too. Very good. Consistently high price on this card. I feel like it sees play in almost all formats, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is a really good card. Is any format it can be in, it sees play, like maybe not Commander so much, because it's like the consistency is not that high, but Modern and I think Legacy, it definitely it sees play. For sure, Modern.
And it's just been added to Historic and Arena, the last Amonkhet update. And then we have lastly Consecrated Sphinx, which is a 6-drop, 4 colorless, and 2 blue mana. It is a Sphinx, a 4/6 flying creature that whenever an opponent draws a card, you draw 2 cards. So this is another Commander staple.
Amazing card. I love it. I only I have a lot of Commander cards, like you guys know. Mm-hmm. Like I spend a lot of money on Commander, and I only have
you're a huge whale.
Yeah, I am for sure. I only have a couple copies of this card because it is expensive, right? And it is.
Oh yeah.
It is. It not only is it expensive, but it doesn't fit into every deck. It only goes into blue decks, and it's still 6 cost, right? So it's Yeah.
I think this is the most expensive one out of these 4 cards. I believe it's this one, then Teferi's Protection is next, and then Collected Company.
Yeah, so you go. I guess. Do you want me to go what I think about it, or do you want to do this?
No, yeah. So, all right. So, Drunken Dork, what is your opinion on these 4 cards?
I think they're great. I think their total value is actually less than what they're charging. So if you were to go buy all 4 of these cards at Card Kingdom or TCG Player or wherever you're going to buy them, it would cost you more than $60.
Okay. Well, besides the cost, what do you think of this card selection as a secret layer?
Oh, I think it's cool. I think it's interesting. I think they were really they were trying to push. I think Commander is what I'm getting out of this. Because like Amulet of Vigor is a Commander card, Teferi's Protection, Consecrated Sphinx, and Collected Company can't be played in Commander.
Yeah.
I think they're all thematic to what Extra Life is. So that is another reason, like Amulet of Vigor, it's kind of like if you actually read the text at the bottom, flavor text, yeah, says Angels guide me while I wake, and I will watch for evil creep. Angels guard. I can't even fucking read it. It's too little. Okay, Angels.
While I dream and I will rest in peaceful sleep.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet. Like these are all pretty like sweet cards. They all like I don't know, really touch on something that they're trying to promote here with this Extra Life thing. So I think it's a good group of cards, personally.
Yeah, these are so if you haven't been following the secret layers, usually they have like 1 or 2 cards maybe that are valuable, and then another 2 or 3 which are just like throwaway cards with cool art, I feel like. And this is just a home run on actual value out of these cards. Every one of these cards is pretty good, right? They're at least a $10 value out of each of these. So I believe the collected value of these 4 cards is around $90, right? At current market price. So they are charging $60 for this set. Do you with $30 of it going to the actual charity? So that means Wizards of the Coast will be pocketing $30 of this, and then $30 will go to Extra Life charity. Okay, what do you think about the price and them giving $30 of this to the charity?
I think giving $30 to charity is always good. Like whether it's one person giving $30 to charity or like a corporation. No matter what they gain out of it. What, on the other hand, though, what I think is that they should be selling this for like, I don't know how much it costs to make and distribute and all of that, but they do charge you for shipping. So having bought these before, I do think they should actually just charge you the normal amount, which is like $40 for something like this, like maybe $10 per card, and then give $30 to charity. Right? Like, I do think that is the better way they could have gone about this, instead of just like giving to charity and then taking their half as well. Like, I think that would have just made them look better, and it would have felt better buying it. Like, I am still going to buy this. But like, I do think that would have been a better price point.
You're not a good indication though of like buying it, right? Because you buy most of these anyways, right?
I do buy. I didn't buy the Women's Day one, and there's a few I haven't. I haven't bought. Like I didn't buy the Ooze. I definitely didn't buy the Walking Dead one.
Oh yeah.
So there's a few I haven't, but yeah, I do buy a lot.
Proud of you holding out, showing restraint.
Dude. Yeah. Vote with your wallet always.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so I think the price point is a little weird. Yeah, so this is $90. So I feel like they pushed these cards because of what a dumpster fire the Walking Dead one was, and they probably are not getting the sales that they hope for on that one. So they're pushing some more sought after cards on this one. And then so giving $30 to charity, great, like you said, but then them taking the exact same cut seems kind of gross to me, right? It should have. I know they're a company and they need to make revenue, right, for their shareholders. They are a publicly traded company for Hasbro. So those shareholders, they want their money, right? So they want just as much. If they would have just made it like, like the like they could have shifted it like $1 even more to like, we'll take 29 and they get 31 or something. That would have sounded better. Like, we're giving more to charity, right, than we're actually taking. And so from what I've heard, a lot of complaints that people are having about this and the price is that they think that Wizards of the Coast is charging the same amount that they always do for Secret Layers, right? Which is $30. Is that what you'd say you've consistently paid for Secret Layers?
Yeah, around there, yeah.
Okay, so around $30. So they're taking their same cut as they normally would for it, but they're just charging an extra $30 and then giving that to charity. So they're taking like no risk, basically. They printed some cards, which they can always do at any point, right? And then they're also, the other thing that people are kind of up in arms about, which I can see the point of this, and I also feel it's gross when companies do this, is they use donating to charity to lessen their taxes, right? They get people to pay for stuff, right? They use it for theirs. Like when you go to the supermarket, right? They're like, hey, would you like to donate to this charity? Sure, I do, right? And then that company uses that as a tax break to, say that they donated to charity because they collected that money for the charity. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, and I think this is going to be one of those things that we'll never know because Wizards of the Coast is not going to share their financial information. They don't do that, and they definitely wouldn't do that for this if that's exactly what they were doing. So I don't know how So there are two sides to this. Giving to charity, good, right? But the way that they're doing it, maybe a little gross. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
So I am going to cheat a little bit and steal something from someone else. I was actually listening to the MTG Goldfish podcast today.
Oh, cool.
So I don't want to take anything out of anyone's mouth without giving credit to it. But
yeah, definitely.
They were saying basically, like one of the guys, I don't remember which one, was saying that it is possible that yeah, sure. Wizards of the Coast, they are donating money and they are using part of it as a tax write-off. And that is absolutely what is happening, like no doubt about it.
Definitely.
But at the same time, there is a way for multiple people to win, right? So they're winning. Extra Life is going to be winning because they're getting $30 per thing, per sale. So if they even make... What is that? Like if they even make 100, so say they make 100 sale and they're getting 30, that's $3,000, right? Yeah, that's $3,000. So, and then so they make 3,000 sales, that's $30,000, and I think this is going to probably be one of their better selling ones just because they push these cards that, well, Commander is the most played paper form of Magic. So I think a lot of people probably will buy these because people in the Magic community, especially Commander, love pimping out their decks, right? And
for sure.
I think this is going to be a very well sold product. So there is a thing where Extra Life wins. These poor children, they win. Of course, Wizards of the Coast wins, and then as a consumer, you win because you're getting 4 cards that you would have paid $90 for. And actually, that's less than what they were a week ago. Since they've announced this, the cards have dropped in price. So, So now, everyone is kind of winning. Wizards of the Coast maybe winning a little bit more than everyone else because they're collecting everyone's money, but still, everyone is really winning. Lose. Yeah, like I said before, I do wish they sold these for a little bit less and they didn't take half of it. I don't know how much it costs to make a cardboard piece of a little piece of cardboard, but I don't imagine making 4 of them is $30.
No,
I'm pretty sure that's not how it works.
Definitely not with the foiling process that they're using currently.
Absolutely.
That's where they have a homeless guy drink gasoline and piss on the cards. That's what it feels like right now. And then they instantly curl into Pringles. So I feel very similar to where you do, where I don't think that this charity would nearly get the money that it's going to get unless places like Wizards of the Coast and these streamers and stuff would promote these things. So this is money that's going to charity that would not have been funneled there if not for these companies pushing it. So that is a good thing. $60 is a lot, but giving $30 to a charity is at least a feel good when you are spending that amount of money.
Yeah.
And these are good cards, right? The problem that I have with this really is just Wizards of the Coast has missed a crucial opportunity to really get some good faith with people when they have been looking really shitty for a while in the media, right? They've been getting a lot of negative press and like outrage from people. And this was like a home run swing for them if they would have just shifted the price $10 in the opposite direction. Hey, we're taking $20, which I still don't feel is how much it costs to print these things and ship them, right?
No.
Probably not even close. And then they could have been like, we're giving $40 to them. How much is that really going to hurt Hasbro, right? Not that much. And then it's that if they would have done that simple thing, sure, they would have lost some revenue, but I think they would have got a lot of good faith with people, and there would have been less outrage about this, right? Like people are pissed because it seems like what they're doing is kind of gross, and I agree with them. It does seem what they're doing is gross because they are still massively winning while giving, and it's like they could have at least, we are taking the hit, right? Because we're spending an extra $30 to give this to charity. They could have taken a little bit of a hit too, but they refused to do that. They refused to take any hit at all to give to charity. So I think that's why most people feel gross about this, and I agree with that, even though, right, we all agree giving to a children's hospital is obviously an awesome thing.
It is.
So once again, Wizards, I feel like you fucked up with Secret Lair. Once again, you you were so close this time. You were so close. You had it. Everyone was cheering for you, and then you tripped at the finish line and fucking just face planted. And then once again, these are also going to be foiled, by the way. So these will be flat for about 10 seconds after you pull them out of the box, and then instantly curled. So there was also another couple things with this. They're selling play mats as well, which and then they're selling an uncut sheet auction. I don't know what that. I guess people like uncut sheets for some reason. 20 uncut sheets are being auctioned. Okay.
I mean, if it's going to charity, that's good. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if it is or not. I didn't read that far ahead. My head started to hurt after reading this. But I like the art on the cards too. Add that.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's so sweet. Like, dude, the Collected Company is so fucking cute, man. Like the little
my favorite one.
What are they called? Lionels? I forget what they're called.
Cubs? I don't know what you call a teen lion. That one's my favorite by far. I mean, I love that card already. That and the Teferi's Protection one looks really cool too.
Yeah,
with
for sure.
Like swirling the kid up in the air. Yeah, I really like. I like all of them actually.
Yeah, me too.
So I mean, so close, Wizards. So close. You just couldn't not be greedy.
Yeah.
With this one thing. All right. Well, that I think wraps up combat. I'm gonna give myself the win on that one.
Okay, you get it. Sure.
All right, great. And then, so with that, we will move on to our second main phase, the horseshit card game. So take it away, Drunken.
All right, so horseshit card game. This is a game that we play where I name generally 3 to 5 Magic cards, and it's up to this drunken idiot to figure out which one is fake. And this week I'm going to be doing 3. So, you're good. I think you got this. All right. I believe in you. Like every week, I go pretty thematic with these. This week, not as much.
Okay.
but you'll see the theme here. Okay.
Maybe.
So our first card is Manor Gargoyle, and he is, or she, 5 colorless. It is an artifact creature gargoyle, and it is from Innistrad. It has Defender, and it says Manor Gargoyle has Indestructible as long as it has Defender. And then you can pay 1 mana until end of turn. Manor Gargoyle loses Defender and gains Flying. Okay?
What was the mana cost on that one?
5. And it is a 4/4,
okay.
sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so colorless, 5 mana, 4/4.
Okay.
The next one is... Yep. So the next one is Leveler. It is 5 colorless mana. It is an artifact creature, Juggernaut, and it is from Mirrodin. All right, it is at rare. And it says when Leveler enters the battlefield, exile all cards from your library, and it is a 10/10.
Okay.
Okay. And then the final card here is did I say what set that card was from?
Mirrodin, yeah.
Okay. All right. And the final card here is Arcbound Demolisher, and it is at 10 colorless mana. It is an artifact creature golem at rare. So all of them are creatures. All of them are rare. All of them are artifacts. It has Trample, and it says remove a +1/+1 counter from Arcbound Demolisher, destroy target artifact. And it has modular 6. And it is a 6/6. So it's a 0/0, but you know.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know any of these.
I did
feel
good
like
this week, huh?
Yeah, those are all some pretty in-depth mechanics you put on those, or at least the one that you tricked. So the gargoyle one sounds legit to me. I'm fairly sure, like, I didn't play any of these sets, so the one that gets rid of your library, I feel like I've heard of that one before, but I don't think I heard it as Leveler. And then the last one, I know about Arcbound Ravager, but I don't know about the Arcbound Demolisher. That one sounds but that mechanic sounds a little complicated maybe for you to come up with your small brain. So I don't know, unless you stole it from another card. You've gotten better at this as it's gone on. Pretty good. I'm gonna go with the Leveler, actually. That one is messing with me a little bit. So yeah, I'll go with the Leveler.
Leveler. Well, buddy, terrible job. Terrible job. Yeah. Unfortunately, so it was Arcbound Demolisher. You were so close. So close.
So close.
But I will say, there are a lot of Arcbound cards. Like, it's a whole series of cards, and they all have modular. Those are I think the only cards with modular. So there's a bunch of them.
Okay.
But yeah, that is not a real card. I just completely made this card up. I didn't even steal it from another card besides the modular part.
Okay.
So yeah, dang, dude, I am a fucking winner. At least I win at something, right?
Did Leveler get banned from something? Because I'm pretty sure, like, getting rid of your deck makes it pretty easy for, like, Laboratory Maniac and those kind of strategies to win.
Yeah, I feel like it could possibly be a card that's banned in Commander. I wouldn't be surprised. When I read this, I was like, what? That's exactly what I thought. I was like, oh, dude, you could totally just fucking cheat with this card. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure it got banned from something. I don't know. If anyone knows, let us know in the comments where if this card actually got banned or not, or if you remember it. I know people were probably screaming at me like, no, that was the one that got banned. People were playing the shit out of that in whatever obscure format. Yeah. Well, damn, I suck again. All right. So how many are you up at this point?
I have so many wins, I can't even count.
Oh my God. Disgusting.
I don't know, honestly. I'm not keeping track.
All right. Well, that was the horseshit card game. I hope you guys did better than I did in that one. And yeah, so now we will move on to the cleanup phase. And this is just our quick social media. Oh, no, sorry. We go on to end step after that. Okay. So end step is just what other shit have we been doing this week outside of the world of Magic, real quick. So, Drunken Dork, what have you been doing this week?
So like I've been saying, I got a house recently, finally. Big ol', I put on I've been playing the adulting game. It's like a really fucking boring and awful game to play. Like I don't ever want to play this game again, but unfortunately here I am. So, hence the echo. I'm in my new house and I laid in like hardwood and shit, and I have literally nothing in this room. So I need to fill this room out with some shit so there's not as much of an echo. Put a carpet down, maybe like a rug, and I really actually just want to start playing video games again, because I haven't touched a single video game in 2 weeks, and I'm feeling like some serious withdrawals. Like today I played Magic Arena. I was like, fuck yes, like bring it on.
Oh, yeah,
dude, like just fucking inject that shit into my goddamn penis, like
oh yeah.
Straight through my wiener veins. And
woo! Oh, that's the stuff. There it is. Yeah. So, I know exactly how you feel. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm just excited to get to finally be moving into my place and like getting settled in, and just like go back into playing Magic, playing video games, play some Commander online. Yeah, I am super excited for that.
Nice, dude. Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. Yeah. It looks like that'll be a cool studio room for you too, if you, get it set up. Yeah, so I got done adulting hardcore last week, right? Where I was working like double shifts and all that. So I've been getting that fix this week of like actually getting back into games. Yeah, and I went real hard, and I got the new Oculus Quest 2. Yeah, the Quest 2, man. I read a couple reviews about it. I heard some mixed things, but like I was looking at the gameplay on it, I was like, you know what? Like my Rift that I had was just such a pain in the ass, and I ended up taking it down because I'm gonna move pretty soon. So like you have all those cameras and everything. I was like, it's so much of a hassle with the cameras and the cords and all the shit everywhere. So I was like, the Oculus 2, maybe it's okay. The graphics are better on the Snapdragon one than I have on like my high-powered PC with that first Rift.
Wild.
Just like the screen on it just didn't, it ran very smooth on the Rift, but it just didn't look as impressive as like the actual this Quest 2 does. And so I've been getting back into some Beat Saber this week, and I noticed how like fat and out of shape I've been because I woke up the other morning and my legs were sore. One leg was almost like stiff. It was so sore. I was like, from Beat Saber? Seriously? Oh no. Shame, just shame. So so I've been trying to get back into like at least being in some decent shape this week. But yeah, so I've been playing a lot of Beat Saber and stuff and playing around with that, and you can cast your actual like Rift games and your Steam games and stuff through your Wi-Fi router to your headset, actually through the desktop app, so you can play stuff from your computer, actually using your GPU and all that on your computer to 90 hertz on this Quest 2, it looks awesome.
There's no lag?
As long as you have a good router. I have a pretty decent router, and the Quest 2 has Wi-Fi 6 on it. So if you have a Wi-Fi 6 router,
I just got one.
You're getting great. Yeah, so you're getting a very high bit rate to the thing, so there's like no lag with it at all. So there's a little bit with mine because my router's bogged down by all the crap I have in this house, and it's not Wi-Fi 6, but yeah, it's still great. So very impressive new piece of tech, and it was only like $300 for the thing. So yeah, Pretty fun for me. So I've been doing that as well as so way too much video games this week. Just like I've been like let loose back into like
nice.
Being
I'm
a
jealous.
kid again.
That sounds great. I can't wait.
You'll get there, dude. Yeah, you'll get there. All right, cool. So that was our end step, and so after the end step, we go into cleanup, which is just our social media promos, and Drunken Dork's gonna take away with that.
All right, everybody. So you can reach me at Drunken Dork on Instagram and Facebook, and you can reach Hoshi at Super Houston on Instagram and Houston Herrera on Facebook. You can find us at the Mana Dorks podcast on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube, the Mana Dorks podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher. Mm-hmm. Amazon Music, Google Music, all at the Mana Dorks podcast. We really appreciate a thumbs up, a like, anything you can do. It would really help us a lot. And we appreciate you guys listening.
Yeah, guys, thanks for listening. So after that, we go into the discard phase.
Yes.
We're like the drunken idiots we pound what we have been drinking as we say goodbye to you guys. So thank you for listening to Mana Rant and for tuning in to us, and let us know what you guys think. All right. Peace out, guys. Have a good week.
See y'all.
Woo!
Yeah. Really good.
Yeah?
That was tasty. I needed that. I feel life in my veins.
Yeah.